What's up, guys? So, do you remember this creator? Well, we already debunked him, and I felt that maybe you guys needed to get some more information when it came to Scarlet Witch, right? I don't think a lot of you guys know who she is as a character. And I did a video on my TikTok where I did explain a lot of things about her. Don't get me wrong, there's so much more that I can say about her. I pretty much know almost everything when it comes to Scarlet Witch. For the fact that, again, one of her biggest page turners was the fact that she beat Cthulhu. She didn't just absorb his book, she absorbed him in his own universe, while at the same time she's been seen being able to change the rules of a book. Again, she's already in fiction and she can go into other fiction and change its rules, basically dominating it. She's a very powerful character and there's so much she's been able to do. And I did this video on TikTok just so you guys can see for yourself. So again, sit back, relax, enjoy the video. And if you want to see more, by all means, guys, just like, follow, and yeah. I'll catch you guys later. Enjoy the video. So even though this individual has already been handled and thoroughly walked, I felt that there was other clarifications that needed to be had, right? Because to me, I find it funny that someone would go get a video from years ago to try to argue with me. And what's crazy to me is I went back to go look at my archive for when the speed of thought discussion even started, in which I remember when I started that so we could have the dialogue. Then I remember we went live. It was like 30,000 people in that live. And so many people were shocked. It was like, oh my God, I had no idea the speed of thought in Marvel was faster than light, that it's been like this for years. I'm like, bro, yeah. Like Marvel has always made it very clear, being able to react at the speed of thought has always been faster than reacting to the speed of light. That's their thing for like everything. Even Mr. Fantastic has reacted at the speed of thought. When you couple this with every time they bring up the speed of thought and how it again is limitless, that it far surpasses the speed of light. I mean, even when we look at Monica Rambeau, who is right here moving as light, like she is light, and what stops her was purely made out of thought. And then Marvel even goes a step further and says what? They give you the verbatim statement that thought is faster than light. Then you get people like this who are afraid to show their face to go, and you're like, but it says it. It says it multiple times. Like this is a common thing that occurs in Marvel Comics. But here we go. We gotta use real life physics when it comes to fiction. And then when we look at what he said when it comes down to Scarlet Witch versus Thor, right? Again, this argument has already happened so many times. Everybody already knows she would slaughter him. It's not an argument anymore. Even when it comes to Clark, I know some of you who are new to this might be confused, but don't worry, I'm gonna explain it to you. Let's look at Uncanny Avengers, right? I have this whole series. Remember when Rogue was about to get stabbed and have her life taken, and Scarlet Witch took the hit and got stabbed through her spine, through her stomach? And then we fast forward to when Thor, like, basically was being mind controlled, because Thor is not immune to that. Even with all his new powers and abilities, he's not immune to mind control or certain spells working on him, which was proven in his newest series, Immortal Thor, which was the reason he couldn't be on Earth, because the spell that was cast was messing with his mind. But even though Scarlet Witch was badly damaged, tired, and weak, she was still able to counter everything he had. Again, he's bloodlusted, and no matter how he tries to blitz her or come after her, she's able to basically counter him. Now, eventually she does get worn down because again, she's been stabbed. That's when Scott Summers' brother jumps in to kind of give her a little bit of help. But in that fight, she pretty much tells him to leave. He doesn't want to leave her by herself, but she's like, don't worry, I won't hurt him. Because she could just end him, but that's her teammates, and she doesn't want to hurt Thor. She doesn't want to hurt anybody after everything she's done, specifically after No More Mutants. So what does she do? She slows down time. Thor, again, is already blitzing her. He's bloodlusted. And although she realized she can't beat him physically, because yeah, physically he is stronger than her, she has other ways of defeating him or taking him out of play. But all this was to kind of knock him out of the mind control from Red Skull. He can come back to his senses. If she really wanted to, she could have just killed him. I mean, she even expressed to Red Skull that if she had simply just the power source, she could do No More Mutants whenever she wanted to. She just let that go because she don't want to hurt nobody anymore. So this is Scarlet Witch when she's limited. I mean, even when we look at what happened with her and Jean Grey, just would have thought she was unraveling people. Like, no, I'm being for real. She was unmaking people and sending them to other places because she can do that. When it comes to reality, it bends to her will because she's a Nexus being, which was explained through the Queen of Nevers, who created all of the Nexus being. Scarlet Witch is not in the machinations of Marvel. She's the only Nexus being who has probability manipulation. No other Nexus being has that. Not even Thor has it. He's a god. I mean, when we really think about it, if you go back to her first solo run, she beat another Nexus being by using probability, and what she did was change a law in Marvel. I'm sorry, who holds all the law in Marvel? Who is the one that says what will and what will not be? Yeah, that would be the Living Tribunal, who can't do anything when she does things like that because she's out of his hands. Like, he doesn't have any control over the Nexus beings. I mean, look what happened when her and Agatha fought in the Megaverse. For you guys that don't understand what a Megaverse is, it's bigger than a universe and a multiverse. It's a combination of pretty much everything. Not only could she exist in that space, which would make her bigger than pretty much Marvel itself, or even just the 616 universe or any universe after it, she's able to affect that universe while being in it. I mean, but look what she did in The Wizard of Oz. She was able to change a book from the inside out, then going on to being able to change the nature of gods and beat them in their own universe, to even being able to devour the Darkhold and Cthulhu with it, not only becoming a living Darkhold, but imprisoning him at the same time. A character who's way more powerful than Thor. I mean, speaking of characters that are way more powerful than Thor, I mean, Wanda did just fight the Griever, and the Griever's powers no longer had effect on her. And her power is the ability to unmake, not destroy, but to unmake. She's the end of all things, and even she couldn't permanently kill the Scarlet Witch. But let him tell it, oh, Thor will definitely beat her. No, he wouldn't. I mean, when we really look at what happened with No More Mutants, Scarlet Witch rewrote not only the 616 universe, but she rewrote every universe. She rewrote reality itself, and she rewrote it in her image. I mean, even Doctor Strange said himself that if he tried to undo what she did, everything would die if he even made one mistake. He didn't have the power to do this. Again, the only way to fix this was for her powers and the Phoenix Force to combine just to fix what she broke. I know some of you guys are saying, well, how do we know that she affected everything? Well, I mean, Mad Jim Jaspers was the one that told us, actually, because of what she did, that's how he was able to resurrect himself. She broke down all of Marvel, not just 616, and she remade it in her image. Sure, this may have not affected a handful of mutants, but that was because Doctor Strange protected some of them. When you really think about this, you affected every Earth and every universe of Marvel. It means you have a range of power that Thor has never had. He doesn't even have a feat close to this. Even as Rune King Thor, he was only able to destroy a universe, just one, because he destroyed its anchor. That was it. He doesn't have a way to actually kill one. I know some of you guys are already thinking, okay, well, that doesn't explain how he can't kill her or speed blitz, even though, yeah, it did explain that he wouldn't be able to speed blitz her. But let's just say a character could kill Scarlet Witch. Well, would that be a permanent solution? Would she actually be able to die? I mean, well, actually, no. Even in Scarlet Witch's newest series, what did we learn? We had a character like the Griever, who's the end of all things, who pretty much unmade Wanda. As we learned in issue 2, it didn't take because there was a piece of her that was still left alive, in which the Queen of Nevers basically guided her to this realm so that she could basically resurrect herself, which she would have done anyway. The Scarlet Witch has her own universe of her own making called the Orchard, the same place as the Phoenix Force, which they're both basically yin and yang. I know for a fact that there's going to be people out there that's going to go, that's not true. They're not yin and yang, even though Marvel themselves have already confirmed it. The only problem is Scarlet Witch is actually stronger than the Phoenix, but that's because she's primordial chaos, which we learned in the contest of chaos, in which chaos is basically the building blocks of all life and magic and pretty much everything. It's the first thing. And then we look at the fact that Scarlet Witch, one, really can't die, as she states herself and proves she cannot die because she can resurrect herself. Resurrection is just a part of her kit, while at the same time she can exist in past, present, and future at the same time. She can exist in multiple places at once, and now she's only gotten stronger, specifically after she has remade herself again, which is why the Griever's attacks didn't have any effect on her, but her attacks had way more effect on her because Scarlet now had a power boost. And the fact it's been stated that the Scarlet Witch herself is without limits. Again, it was stated. So when it comes to characters like Superman and Thor, they don't have the power to actually keep her down or to even kill her permanently. Let's just say they did. She's already proven that she can exist in her own realm without a physical body while still being able to use magic. And even without a physical body, she's able to defeat and destroy primordial gods who are actually older than she is. Gods who have been the devourer of worlds in other universes, in other cosmos. Again, without a physical body, she can destroy them. So besides that, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of clarification when it comes to Scarlet Witch. I felt I owed you that. There are a lot of people out here who like to hide their face and spread misinformation because it's easier that way. It's easy to spread misinformation, specifically when you're just doing it for likes and views. But that is where actual comic book enthusiasts come in. We're only gonna tell you what's on the page. And while we're talking, we're never just gonna give you scans. We're gonna give you the books that those pages come from. Because we want you to read those books. We want you to learn what we know. So that way, as I grow, you grow too. Besides that, I'm King Lion, and I'll catch you guys later.